everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't already know, my name is Ramaila, and on this channel it's all about learning, growth and contribution. Before I even start and go anywhere, Happy New Year to you and your family. I hope you had an amazing crossover session, not just by yourself but with your family members, with your loved ones. We're thanking God for getting us through 2022 and also stepping into 2023. Not a lot of people were able to make it, so you are so blessed to be here. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I actually wanted to come on this platform to, number one, first and foremost, thank you for getting me to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. I don't even think in my life I know 50 people, guys. Wait till when you are leveling up in life, things just happen, right? And when you are in alignment, I believe that things happen. I've always wanted to do YouTube. I always wanted to do YouTube for what I believe would be humanly reasons. I wanted to do hair, I wanted to do makeup, but not my God. My God said you are going to teach because I gave you the spirit of teaching. And so I'm so glad that the foundation of this channel is based on my true passion, which is education. So thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for sharing the videos, and I hope you can stay with me on this journey, that you can continue commenting, liking and subscribing, and just making sure that our family reaches as much people as possible who are in need of some light and some fun and some wisdom and some love, right? I think I wanted to also focus on this video about New Year, right? I know New Year is all about New Year, new me, resolutions, whatnot, right? But I really don't want to do the resolutions this year, right? I actually want to talk about setting goals and establishing an action plan to actually achieve the goals that we want, right? So having a strategy for 2023 and recognizing and realizing that it's high time we start getting into a mindset of not just doing things because it feels good, it's a new year, we are feeling encouraged and motivated, but jiggy when it comes to the 30th of Jan, we forgot or we forget that it's even a new year and we chuck away the new year resolutions, right? So for me, my goals that I had written down, I think in 2017, end of 2017, end of 2016, beginning 2017, they are coming to pass. I had like these five-term year goals where I just decided what I wanted to do with my life. And it's funny, when you actually have a plan for your life and a vision for your life, most of those things come to pass, right? And I think it's because manifestation is not just about focusing on the things around you, but manifestation is about what you can do as an individual, right? So I was able to achieve most of those things that I set out for myself, not all of them. And I honestly believe the ones that I didn't achieve were because they were not in alignment with God, right? And that brings us to how I want to set up my goals for 2023, which I hope it would encourage you. One of the faith-based content YouTubers from America, her name is Melody. I think she perfectly laid out the way in which we need to set out goals. So if you're not privy to her, she basically just mentioned about there is something called earthly up goals versus heavenly down goals. So earthly up goals is what I do every year, what I've done, which I believe people technically tend to do. It's what we naturally feel like we want, right? We are so about I and writing down a list of what we believe God should be doing for us, right? So I was that person, and I think for the longest time, I realized that some of my goals were influenced by my environment or the things that I was seeing or exposing myself to, which weren't necessarily my calling, right? And I think that's why they're not coming to pass. So I wanted to do something different, where instead of doing these earthly up goals where I'm writing a list and telling God what I want, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to humble myself and rely on heavenly goals, right? And heavenly goals, if I could just simplify it for you, is basically just rooting yourself in prayer, in worship, and waiting for God to guide your goals, right? It sounds random. It sounds like, that's different. But I honestly believe that should be something that comes naturally to us, because if we are from the Creator, and if God knew us before we were even formed, or even called us by our name before we even landed in our mom's womb, right? It means that He actually had a purpose for us. Just like Jeremiah, he knows the plans that he has for us. He knew us before we were even born or formed. And so it's only natural that you would go back to your Creator and wait for Him to tell you what it is that you're supposed to be stepping into. Now, I took on this exercise and I wrote down my heavenly goals, and I think there's going to be a situation where every season I am going to be rooting myself and planting myself in a place where I can hear from God, and I don't necessarily just limit it to the month of January and think what I have set out in January is what should be carrying me throughout the whole year. I mean, we're going to be experiencing different seasons throughout the year, so it's only fair and right that your heavenly goals, your heavenly down goals, are ones that you align yourself with God with every season, right? So I believe that I'm in a transitioning kind of season, which makes me a bit vulnerable, a bit impressionable, I want to try different things. But I really just told myself that this year I want to lean into the things that I've always wanted to do, without this fear of what if it doesn't happen, or what if I'm on the wrong track, right? Do you understand that line that says our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure? And I think that is so important, and that is so key, because sometimes we are so scared to step into our power because we really feel like, God, me? Like, me? You want me to do that, right? We don't feel like we are equipped, or we are in the right mindset to be doing that which God called us to do. And I feel like that is coming from a lack mentality, and also self-doubt, and always allowing your thoughts to get the better of you. So I want to be in a position where I can critically assess my thoughts and think about, why am I thinking the way I'm thinking? Why am I doubting myself so much? Why am I feeling like I am not worthy of this position? I'm not worthy of these friends. I just want to interrogate that part of me. And that comes with recognizing and understanding the season that you're in. So again, for me, being in a transformation season where I'm vulnerable, my heavenly down goals, I honestly believed that they would take much longer to come to pass, because I feel like over the years, my relationship with God has been really good in some months, and then really distant in other months. And they always say, between you and God, right? If your relationship is strained, who moved? Definitely you, because God is always with us. He does not go back on His word. His promises are true. His promises are, they were there in the beginning, they will be there at the end, right? So I guess my relationship was dependent on how I was trying to show up or be obedient to the word. And so my heavenly down goals that came to me in my mind after taking prayer and taking time to really assess what it is Lesotho is supposed to be taking on in 2023, that gave me so much comfort, right? Because it didn't necessarily sound like something that I would naturally do all these other years, like writing a list of, I want a car, or I want to go to the gym every day, or I want to eat takeaways once a month, something along those lines, something superficial, something that doesn't necessarily align with who you were called to be, right? These heavenly goals, I feel like when I heard from God, they put me at so much ease, and they made me realize how much value I have as a person, how powerful I can be and am when I really align myself with the will of God, because that's who He called me to be, right? Who He called you to be, no one can take that from you, take away that from you, right? And I feel like sometimes we put ourselves in positions where, because we compare ourselves, our goals, to the people around us, we don't necessarily manifest those things, because that's not who God called you to be. So I would like to encourage you to take time in prayer. Read over Ephesians 4. I was listening to a sermon by Pastor Torre. I believe, guys, I'm supposed to be in LA. I don't know if you guys know that church is called 1LA. Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts and Tori Roberts are the head pastors over there. You have your executive pastors, Stephanie Ike, and then you have Roosevelt. Like, you have all these amazing speakers, which sometimes I really don't believe that God needs me to be in LA, but LA comes to my living room, right? And I write down all of these teachings, and these people don't even know that they are my mentors, right? But that's the beauty of living in a virtual age, where you don't necessarily have to be at a place, at a specific time, at a specific location to receive the word of God. You can receive it in your bedroom, in your living room, in your kitchen, in your office, anywhere, as long as you are open to receive and you are putting yourself in a place where you are not so distracted to hear from God, right? So I would like to encourage you to take time, pray over 2023, instead of just writing down a list of the things that you would want to achieve. Consult with your maker, spend time and really remove all the distractions that hinder you from hearing from God. I know I take a lot of breaks from Instagram, from Facebook, from YouTube even, right? And I think it's for self, and it's also understanding my positioning and my role with God, that the only time he has room in my life is when all these other things are not there to distract me or to make me downplay the power that I possess, right? So I would like to encourage you to write down these heavenly goals and see what God has in store for you. Now, for the direction of my channel, 100% blessed that it was based on my one true passion, which is education, right? But I would also like to explore different things, whether it's my journey on motherhood, my journey on being a wife, my journey on stepping into a new role career-wise, right? I've realized that a part of me longs to give people as much information as they can to uplift themselves, and not just for themselves but for the people around them, right? I grew up in a township, and I believe that I didn't have a lot of vision for my life, not because I didn't want to have vision for my life, but because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that I can dream big and think of CEO positions, think of stellar, splendor, leadership roles, because of the fact that it was not known to me, right? And so I really truly believe that sometimes giving people access to information on your way to success, on your journey of self-mastery, it can help the people around you. It can help bring up your society, bring up your community, and not just something that's going to make you grow as an individual, but it's going to definitely give you the ultimate fulfillment in life, right? I think in my life, I try to mirror the Christian life, where it is full of ups and downs, and it's not like a superficial description of what being Christian is like, right? Where I am holier than thou and I only show amazing points in my life. I would also like to share the challenges that I've come across in such a way that it becomes encouragement for the next person, in such a way that my mistakes becomes another person's learning curve, where they don't necessarily have to go and walk the dirty, dark roads without having guidance. So my channel should be something that mirrors my life, my desires, my longings, my contribution, my focus, right? I feel like this year is all about focus and being precise in the actions that you want to take, right? Having strategy for every day, right? And I feel like every day is a new day. If you feel like yesterday didn't go as well as it should have gone, tomorrow is still another day. Guided by the Lord. He goes before you. He knows exactly what is coming your way. You might not know. You might be very uncertain as to what tomorrow holds, but he knows, right? So always start your day in prayer. Always center yourself and become soul aware and self-aware, so that you can know when you are imbalanced, right? Interrogate your thoughts this year. Don't allow insecurities, past hurts, past devils, things that you've overcome in your past deter you from who you need to become, because I feel like that's how the enemy traps us into really manifesting and embracing who we really are as children of God. And so I would like to encourage you to take time out in the day, especially to hear from God, not to necessarily just treat him as a genie. I'm prophesying and preaching to myself. I am the choir. I am she who needs to hear this word. So don't be somebody that goes astray in the year. Be somebody that is really trying to humble yourself to the will of God, really trying to be the best self, right? Be excellent, right? Not just in one area of your life, but in all areas of your life, so that later on in life you don't regret anything, right? I believe that this year, whatever it is that you have as a goal, as a dream, as a vision, work towards it, right? Work towards it coming to pass, and you will see God doing amazing things in your life. That is my prayer for me. That is my prayer for you. And I really do appreciate that you guys have been following me on this journey. 1,000 subscribers. I don't even think I know 50 people in my life. Mara, that's when you know God is real. He will let the right people follow you. He will build the foundations for you. You might not have seen it, but he knows what he can do for you, and he knows the possibilities. So cheers to 2023, to more partnerships, to more subscribers, to more growth, to more contribution, to more inspiring of other people. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe. Let me know what your goals are for 2023 once you've rooted yourself in prayer. Let me know what your heavenly goals are and what your aspirations and what you're expecting to achieve in 2023. And I wish you nothing but a blessed year. Bye.